Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. For all of those who are returning and for all of the new family member, welcome. I'm so excited to have you here. I want to encourage you to please turn on your notification bell so that way you don't miss it whenever I post a new video, okay? And for all of those who are new, my name is Winnell Wilma. I am your restoration coach, speaker, and mentor, and I help kingdom-driven women like yourself elevate her faith, her life, and her impact. So if you are interested in improving in any of those areas, in growing in any of those areas, you are in the right place. All right. So I'm excited to have you here. Today I am we're starting a new series on this channel called Wisdom Wednesday with Winnell. And what is going to be is me doing pretty much Bible study, or me sharing something new that I have learned, that is something new about God that I have learned, something that is helpful. So we might even do some faith building books review, anything that is going to help us grow in our faith. On Wednesdays, we're going to talk about it. And into today's topic, we are talking about Esau. I'm pretty sure if you've been in the Christian faith for a long time, you know all about Esau and Jacob. That's what we're talking about today. But a few months ago, I discovered something regarding Esau that sparked my interest. And I was like, this is good. I never noticed this before, right? Because many times when we talk about Esau and Jacob, we focus on the part where he sold his birthrights. His mom and brother kind of swindled him out of his inheritance, like all of those things, right? And I feel many of us have missed this one thing that Esau got right that you should be doing too, if you can relate to his situation. Yes, there's one thing that he got right, and we're going to talk about it today, all right? So it is a long bit of a reading, the entire story of Jacob. So I encourage you to read the entire Genesis. I am, however, going to summarize some stuff and then read some part that is significant to what we're discussing here today. All right. And so I have my Bible and then I have my notebook. And so we are starting from Genesis 25, verse 29 to 37, right? So in that portion, it talks about Esau despising his birthright. And birthrights is extremely a big deal. It was a big deal during those days, during their culture. It was a big deal. And I went ahead and looked it up just to get a better understanding, because I'm like, I know what it is, but I also just want a better understanding. All right. So that's special privilege and advantages that belongs to the firstborn son among the Jews. So special privileges and advantages that belong to the firstborn son. All right. So he sold his special privilege that he had that belonged to him, the advantages that he had that belonged to him. He sold it to his brother, due to instant gratification, due to being weary, but we're not going to go into that today. Okay. Also, birthright is a double portion of parental inheritance. So when the fathers are leaving the inheritance, if you are the firstborn son, because of your birthright, you have double portion of that inheritance, as well as judicial authority of the father. So whatever judicial authority that your father had, that would be transferred to you. So it was all of that he sold. All right. Make sure you read the whole thing. Then in Genesis 25, 27 to 28, we have family favoritism. So I don't know if you have experienced this in your family before, if you have been impacted or affected, by this, but this is somebody in the Bible who experienced this family favoritism. It talks about the fact that Isaac loved Esau. And part of the reason why he loved Esau is because Esau was hardworking. He was a hunter. He loved to eat what his son got. And then Jacob, on the other hand, he was a little bit softer on the other side. Okay. Is that he stays in tent or something like that. I'm not sure if I'm getting that part right, but he wasn't as hardworking as his brother in the term of going to hunt, right? And so, but Rebecca loved Jacob. So you have two siblings where dad favored one and then mom favored the other one. All right. So then we go down to Genesis 26:24. And it talks about Esau disobeyed God and he married outside of his culture, outside of his religion, outside of his people. They are not supposed to marry outside, because marrying outside means you're bringing in someone who doesn't serve the same God as you, right? And so that's why they weren't supposed to. It caused a whole lot of issue. Even now we do it and it end up causing us a whole lot of issue. But he did that, and so he disobeyed God, right? And we know that every time we disobey God, there's consequences to it. There's cause and effect, right? So every time we disobey God, there's consequences to it. Then we go down to Genesis 27, which we're going to read verse 30 to 40, because this part is significant to what we're discussing today. So that was 27, verse 30. I want to make sure I got it right. Through 40. And in my Bible, I'm reading from the New King James Bible, and the header for that says Esau lost hope. Have you lost hope before? Read Esau's story and see, have you experienced any of the things that he has experienced? Favoritism, betrayal by his brother and his mother, right? Have you been in that situation before? So verse 30 said, now it happened as soon as Isaac had finished blessing Jacob, and Jacob had scarcely gone out from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting. He also had made savory food and brought it to his father, and said to his father, let my father arise and eat of his son game, that your soul may bless me. And his father Isaac said to him, who are you? So he said, I am your son, your firstborn Esau. Then Isaac trembled exceedingly and said, who? Where is the one who hunted game and brought it to me? I ate all of it before you came, and I have blessed him, and indeed he shall be blessed. Verse 34, when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with an exceedingly great bitter cry, and said to his father, bless me also, O father. And so before I go on, earlier on with that is that father was about to die, and so he wanted to bless the firstborn son. And so mom heard it. Mom wanted for the secondborn to get it, and there's a whole thing behind that part. And so father gives firstborn son Esau an instruction to go ahead and hunt, make him his favorite food. He wants to eat and he wants to bless him. So mom is like, nope, I want my secondborn to have it. So she tells the secondborn what to do, and she made the stew, and then she disguised him as the firstborn. And he goes in and father blesses him, and the blessing that was supposed to go to the firstborn goes to him. All right. And so this is just a summary. Like, I need you to read it for yourself. Okay. So verse 35, but he said, your brother came with deceit and has taken away your blessing. And Esau said, is he not rightly named Jacob? For he has supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and now look, he has taken away my blessing. Just think about how Esau is feeling, right? He was hungry, and instead of his brother just giving him food, he had to bargain for it. Now, I don't know if his brother, was refusing, and that's why he offer up his birthright so that he can go ahead and get food. The Bible doesn't go into detail, but he literally offered it up to his brother. Now, the blessing that he's supposed to get as a firstborn son, his brother got it as well through trickery. And he said, have you not reserved a blessing for me? So Esau is asking his father, like, Dad, do you not have a blessing for me? Then Isaac answered and said to Esau, indeed, I have made him your master, and all his brethren I have given to him as servants. With greens and wine I have sustained him. What shall I do now for you, my son? And Esau said to his father, have you only one blessing, my father? Bless me also. Oh, my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. His heart has been broken. He's distorted. He destroyed. He felt betrayal, like all of these emotions, right? Put yourself in his shoes. I'm pretty sure many of you can relate to this. Then Isaac, his father, answered and said to him, behold, your dwelling shall be of the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above. By your sword you shall live, and you shall serve your brother. And it shall come to pass when you become restless that you shall break his yoke from your neck. It shall come to pass that when you become restless, you shall break his yoke from your neck. So I want to emphasize on that part. And so I looked up yoke. If you read the Bible talk about yoke a lot. Don't be unequally yoked. And so that's binding, bondage, or affliction. It can be a troublesome law imposed. Back in the day, they have the yoke, the thing where they'll put around the ox neck and they will bind two ox together, right? And so this is the thing, when you yoke to something, whoever is stronger rules. So if you yoke to someone and that person is stronger than you, then you are being ruled by them. They're going to pull you through and fro however way they want you to go. That's how you're going to go. All right. And I also thought about the scripture in Matthew 11:30. My yoke is easy and my burden is light. So Jesus talked about his yoke being easy, right? So you want to be yoked to Jesus. You don't want to be yoked to anything else. But now, because of the authority that Esau not have, all of the blessing that he now have, he is ruling over. Jacob is now ruling over his older brother when it's supposed to be the other way around. But the father said, when you become restless, that you shall break his yoke from your neck. So when you stop being bitter, when you stop blaming everybody else, when you finally take responsibility for what happened to you, your part that you play in it and the part that you can change, when you have forgiven, when you have had enough, when enough has been enough for you, you will break that yoke, okay? You will break that yoke. That was what Esau's father was telling him. Like, yes, this is a bad setup. Yes, things has not gone as planned. Yes, you have been deceived, right? Yes, things were stolen from you. Yes, maybe for you, lies have been told on you, right? You have been made to picture as somebody that you're not. Yes, all of these things have happened to you that has not been good. It has been terrible. But that is not the end of your story. This doesn't have to be your story. It doesn't have to stay here. Yes, they may have more power over you. They may have more advantages over you. They may have more privileges over you. But when you become restless, when you become tired of your situation, when enough is enough for you, and you get up and you take responsibility and take action, you will break the yoke. So I don't know what you are yoked to. I don't know what has been pulling you to and fro. I do not know, but you know. And I am here to tell you that when you become restless, you will break that yoke. You will break the yoke. Somebody else is not going to break it for you. Somebody else is not going to decide for you. Somebody else is not going to get up and do what's need to be done. Somebody else is not going to heal you. You have to take yourself to the delivery room. You have to take yourself to the healing room. You have to take yourself to the master, and you have to do the work. Make yourself available so that he can give you the healing that you need, so that he can restore you, so that he can make you whole again. All right. And so I really want for you to get that from this story between Esau and Jacob. Esau made some bad choices. Esau was dealt a bad hand, but it didn't have to stay that way. Esau responded to this unfortunate opportunity the way how many people respond to things like this. And we're going to go into how he responded. So verse 41 says, so Esau hated Jacob because of the blessings with which his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then I will kill my brother. He hated his brother for what happened to him. He wanted his brother dead because what his brother did to him. Or who do you hate right now because of what they did to you, right? Who would you rather not be on the face of this earth right now because of what they did to you? As long as you're holding on to the hatred, as long as you're holding on to the bitterness, you are still yoked to them because they still have power over you. All right. And so, in his rebellious, chapter 28, he decided to marry more. He had already married outside of his race. And because he was upset and he wanted to do something that is going to get his parents upset, which again was marrying outside of his race, his culture, his religion, he went ahead and he did that. He married women who were not Jewish. He married women who were not Israelites. Okay. And so his goal was to spite, listen to this. His goal was to spite his parents because of what happened, right? Because of the hurt that he was feeling. But he ended up hurting himself even more because his choices led him outside of the will of God, because he continued to disobey God by marrying outside of his own kind. So when people hurt you and you are not letting it go, and you start to make choices and decisions to get back at them because you want to hurt them, you want them to feel the same disappointment that you feel, right? You want them to have a sense of the pain that you feel. So you then start to go out and do things to get back at them. Remember this. You will end up hurting yourself in their process. You will end up hurting yourself in the process, okay? Because his parents ended up, going on to glory, but he was still left with those women, right? Who didn't go by the same things that he went by, right? So you are still being impacted by that, okay? So then we're going down to verse Genesis. So I want you to read Genesis 23 and 33. That's where Esau comes to meet Jacob. Jacob and Esau finally meet. Now, remember, this is Esau, and it's over a 14-year span. I don't know span of time. I don't know exactly how long, but I know that Jacob served 14 years in the place that he went because he ran away so that his brother wouldn't hurt him. And he spent at least 14 years there serving, right, for his wives. And so 14-year time span, okay? Now, there's some people, maybe you, that things have happened to you. It's been 10 years. It's been 12 years. It's been 20 years. And you are still in that space of what happened to you. You are still carrying the bitterness, the hatred, the hurt, the disappointment, all of the negative things that happened to you. You are still sitting in it, even though it's been so many years. And this is what I want us to get out of this. This is not turning out how I thought in my head, but the Holy Spirit is doing what he want to do. But the main thing that I wanted to share out of this teaching is what we're about to get to, is that again, you don't have to stay in that spot, right? You don't have to stay yoked, right? And so now Esau wanted to get his brother back. He wanted to kill his brother, all of these things. So now his brother is coming back to returning home, and his brother is afraid because he knew what he did. And he knew the situation, how it was when he left. And so he was afraid that his brother was going to harm him. So he was taking precaution as he was going home. But I want for you to read the whole chapter 23 and chapter 33. So we're going to go to chapter 33 and we're going to read verse 4, and then we're going to read 8 and 9. 33:4 said, but Esau ran to meet him and embraced him and fell on his neck and kissed him, and they went. Esau, who was full of all of this bitterness because of what happened to him, and wanted to harm his brother. When his brother returned after a couple of years, he ran to his brother and hugged him and kissed him. That's what I want for you. Well, one of the things, because the Holy Spirit share other stuff, one of the things that I want for you to get out of this, the one thing that Esau did right, that you should be doing too, Esau forgave. Esau forgave. Esau let go of bitterness. Esau let go of hatred. He let it go. And he broke the yoke that was on him. He broke the yoke that was on him. It is time for you to break that yoke. The only yoke that you should have, anything you should be yoked to, is Jesus Christ. Yes, you will be yoked through, covenant. So if you're married, you yoke to your spouse and all of those things, right? But you want to be yoked to Jesus Christ and not anything else, okay? And so he broke the yoke. And I believe part of the reason that he was able to do that was because he forgave his brother. He did not spend that 14-year time span doing nothing with his life, just contemplating on how he's going to get his brother back when his brother returned, right? He moved on with his life. He started to live his life. He forgave. How do I know that he forgave his brother? He ran to meet his brother. He hugged and kissed his brother. He cried with his brother. The anger was no longer there. All right. How do I know he broke the yoke? Let's go to verse 8 and 9. Then Esau said, "What do you mean by all this company which I met?" And so because Jacob didn't know what he was walking into and he was afraid that his brother still wanted to harm him, he decided to pacify his brother by sending a lot of gifts ahead of time. Now, during those days, people was rich based on the cattle, right? Based on animals that they have. That's how you will know how rich they are. And so because of that, Jacob God has blessed him. He had a whole lot. And so he was gifting his brother a lot, right? And so that's what his brother was asking about. So, and he said, "These are to find favor in the sight of my Lord." But Esau said, listen to this, "I have enough, my brother. Keep what you have for yourself." That's how I know he broke the yoke, because he ended up prospering in his own way. He didn't stay in a depressed, upset, bitter, and just letting his life waste away because he was dealt a bad hand or because he made some bad choices. I said "and" because it was both. So he did not allow that to stop him, like the father said. Right? Let's go back to verse 40. It said that you shall break the yoke when you become restless, that you shall break his yoke from your neck. Right? And so he had more than enough for himself. He wasn't waiting to see how well his brother going to do in life, because his brother now had advantages over him, so he could try to take away what his brother has. Right? And so I know this really stood out to me when I got this revelation, because I never seen this side of Esau before. The many times I read this story, I always focus on all of the mistakes that he made, but I never really looked at the thing that he actually got right. And so that's why I wanted to share that with you. This is Wisdom Wednesday with Winnell. Please let me know in the comment your insight on this. Have you got this from the word before? When you read this story before, did this stand out to you? Is this something new for you as well? I pray that this blesses you. I pray that this sets you free. I pray that this delivers you. And I pray that if you are yoked to anything or anyone that is not God, I pray that you get up and break that yoke. And one of the best ways to do it is by partnering with your Father, is by embracing your identity and your authority in Him, and rising up and taking your rightful position as His child. All right. I love you. Have a blessed rest of your day. Please make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe. Share this to encourage, uplift, and bless somebody else. And please turn on your notification bell if you don't have it on already, so you don't miss it when I upload a new video. Bye for now.